Seconds ago, they fell asleep, and I ran here. They don't like the babysitter, so I couldn't leave them. I couldn't leave them with her consciously. I had to leave them asleep. They don't give a shit who's babysitting when they're asleep. And his wife, the person who won't murder them. Hi. So, did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll just take your questions if you have any. We have a few minutes for questions. Yes?
You building your hour, like after shoot up, did you like transition into someone shoot up and then build it from there?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know what he means, I did a special before this one called Shoot Up. The year before that I did one called Shameless. And after I did Shameless, I had built Shameless from the ground up with all the material was new to me, and I spent a year developing it. And then I shot it as a special for HBO. And then I thought, I want to do that again, because I could do it better. So I threw out all of Shameless and started developing a new hour, and that was Chewed Up. And so this one, as soon as I shot Chewed Up, all that material was retired instantly, and then I started over again with nothing. I don't go right out to concerts when I'm doing that. I go right down the street here to the Comedy Cellar, do like maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's low pressure. I'm not just one on a show. It's not my show. And I struggle. I have to bomb for a good 3 months before I start building up a new hour. It's fun, though, at my age, to go back to bombing once a year is very exhilarating. And every show I do is a little high wire because it's always relatively new material. Right now I'm working on a new hour that I'll start touring with in a couple of weeks. And that's new all since I did the last hour, went on to the TV show. That's one question. Anybody else, sir?
Yeah, TV show, keyword TV show.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how it was possible that FX just let you do whatever you wanted, basically. That's what it looked like.
Why did FX let me just do whatever I wanted?
I work for television too, and I just wonder how you get that.
You work for television too.
How you get that kind of.
How you get that kind of freedom? You just go tell them that's what you want to do. Nobody ever.
Not Louis C.K.
No, it doesn't matter. You just go tell them that's what you want to do, and then they'll say no, or maybe they'll say yes. You have to be willing to have them say no. A thing that hurts a lot of TV artists is that they want the job. You need the job. Everybody needs to work. But you want to keep the job. And I've been on a lot of shows where they've said, we can't do that. The people I'm working with, the other artists. And I'll go, why? And I'll go, they'll hate us. Let's just go ahead and do it. But then we'll get canceled. Well, let's get fucking canceled. It's kind of fun to get canceled. It is. It's like you're in the news and shit. It's kind of a thrill to be taken down publicly. It's kind of cool. People are like, what a loser. Loser of the week. Got his show canceled. Guess he sucks. And it's really fun. You feel a little sick, but it's fun. And it's happened to me. So I'm not afraid of it. I'm answering your fucking question. Well, here's what I'm just playing with it. Here's what happened at FX. I was in a very good position. I went out there. I did a show at the Wiltern in Los Angeles. It was packed, this huge theater, and I had a lot of heat. I'd stayed out of LA for like a whole, almost 2 years after Lucky Louie, just strictly on the road selling mad tickets around the country. And selling out theaters in Milwaukee actually gets you more than being in LA and just shilling and asking for jobs. So I came into LA, did a huge sold-out show, and Fox and NBC and all these people were offering me a lot of money. So FX said, we'll give you $200,000 for the whole pilot. And I said, you mean you'll pay me $200,000? He said, no, that's the budget for the whole show. I was like, well, that's a pretty cheap show, so what do I get paid? And they said, whatever you got left when you're done making the show.
Oh, wow.
And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I said, divorced, I need money. So I said, no. And the guy who runs the place, John Landgraf, called me, and he said, he called me at home, and he said, look, I get it, you want to be Charlie Sheen, that's what you want. That's what he actually said. You want to be the next Charlie Sheen, and I get it, because you'll be so rich. and it'll be so fun to be Charlie Sheen on a network show. And I was feeling like so sick to my stomach. I like Charlie Sheen in the movies, but I do not want his job. I don't want to wear those shorts and stand around like this, saying little quippy things that I hate for monstrous piles of money. I knew I would hate that. Anyway, I said, okay, listen, man, I'll do this in one condition. You just give me the money, wire it to me, and then I'll send you a show. I said, I'm not going to pitch you what the show's about. I'm not going to show you the scripts. Just send me the money and I'll send you the show. And I had relative enough credibility that I wasn't just going to steal the money. From his point of view, it was $200,000, very low budget. And I wasn't likely to just go, all of my career has led to this $200,000. I could live very well in New York for 4 months, and then I'm out of show business, but come on, it was worth it. And I had done other projects, so he thought, if it stinks, so what? It's not that bad of a loss for him. So he sent it to me, and I had the money without a show idea, which was really fun to actually have the treasury of the show, have the company built. I had a line producer, and I was like, okay, so what's the show? And the pilot came to me very organically. I actually shot enough for 2 episodes, and I crunched into one. And there's a lot of stuff that never made it into the pilot, because I was just trying stuff that didn't work. But you can't do that if you shoot a pilot for a network, because they have to see the script first. You have to prove that it's going to be funny before you shoot it. And this thing, I shot like half a thing, and I got tired of it, and I stopped shooting it. Because they didn't even know. Nobody knows. It was so irresponsible, but I'm smart about money in production, not my life. So I was able to, if I die today, my kids are homeless tomorrow morning. I'm like, it's terrible. So anyway, they loved what they saw. They didn't see, no idea who was in it, anything, until they saw it on the screen. And they loved it. So they said, let's do it again. And I said, can I keep the same deal? And John Landgraf said, just have a beer with me and tell me some of your ideas. So we had a beer here in the Village once they gave me the whole series. And I told them 2 or 3 ideas, none of which I ended up shooting. And I said, that's some of the stuff I'm thinking of. He's like, just go, it's fine. They ratcheted it up to $300,000 an episode, which is still very low. I don't really make any money on the show. I do, I make some money. I make more than, 90% of the world population. I'm a white American, it's awesome. But anyway, so that's how, every week they don't know. They don't read it, they don't have ideas of what the story is. And they love it, it's fun for them. They just watch a show, and they haven't read it and been bored by it. And they're like, hey, Matthew Broderick, I didn't know you do him. He just pops up. Any other questions? That's about the, yes?
Yeah, you since you're writing and directing and editing and producing the show yourself, is the next step to continue to kind of do before and write more movies and direct?
Well, I think I'm going to stay. I mean, I'm doing another season of the show. And, they gave me a pickup. And so I'm going to keep, that's my only job. That, and then I'm going on a very big tour doing just stand-up for the rest of this year. And then I come back here and I work on the show starting January next year. And that's my year. I've been offered some movie stuff because I've got a TV show and some people like it. So I've gotten some offers. I just say no, I don't want to do it because I like what I'm doing. I was in LA and they told my agent said, A.A. Abrams or AAA, I don't know how many A's there are. J.J. Abrams? I don't know who these people are. A.J.J.A. Abrams J. really wants to see you read something from his new movie. And I said, no, thank you. And he was like, but it's H.J.J.T.M.P.L.Q.11 Abrams. And I said, if he offered me the movie, I'd say no. I've got a TV show, I've got a job, and I've got kids. So I can't keep cramming shit in my schedule. And there's no better job than that show. So, yes?
When you were talking about bombing,
Yeah, talking about bombing.
I'm just saying, like, when, you ever think, like, man, that's it. Like, I'm out of jokes. Like,
Yes, all the time.
At your level, like,
Do I ever think, am I out of jokes? Yes, all the time. Every time I go back out to start developing, I think I have had, and also, by the way, They gave me a second season. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I have no fucking. I am convinced that I've had my last good idea, and I've written my last joke. I mean, and I believe this many times. I'm 42 years old. I've been in this business for 25 years. I've gone around that cycle probably 50 times, and every time I believe it. Every single time I go. I'm like a fucking idiot that goes in a haunted house. And I've even gone behind and seen the wooden ghost hands with the spring. And I met the dude with the gorilla suit. It's like, it's just me in a gorilla suit. But still, when I go back in and he's like, "Rrr," and I'm like, "Ah, it's a gorilla!" And he's like, "Seriously?"